Hey guys, what's up? This is Never Used here, and I have Pokemon Online Never Used Battle again for you. And this one is actually pretty close in that sometimes it's pretty stally, and there's a lot of switching and stuff. So yeah, let's get into this. So I lead off with my Electrode, and he leads off with his Hypno, and I'm predicting him to go for Toxic or Thunder Wave or something, so I just go for the Magic Coat, but he doesn't. And then I see that he's trying to set up some screens, so I go for the Taunt. And then I know he's going to switch, so I go for the Volt Switch, so I get switch advantage. And he goes into his Dragonair, and I'm like, alright, he has the Reflect up, and most of my things are physical attackers. So Shiftry is the best thing to deal with this. And I go for the Dark Pulse, and that does a lot, and I'm wondering why, but then I see he has the lefties, which explains it, and I'm pretty lucky that he is, because, yeah, whatever. But, then I get a flinch, and, that kind of sucks for him, but then he makes a good play and just goes for the extreme speed instead of foddering out or anything like that. And then in comes the Probo Pass, and I go into my Electrode, and right here, he sets up the rocks, and then I thought he was going to predict me, since he saw that I had Taunt and Magikarp, he was going to predict me to do one of those things, and I thought he was going to go for the Earth Power, so that's why I switched out to Shiftry, but he just goes straight for the Thunder Wave, which was a pretty ballsy play on his part, if you ask me. And then I just go straight for the rest, not Giga Drain, rest. But he goes for the Ice Beam, and he does outspeed me. Well, Articunos are pretty fast, and I don't have any speed investment, so that's not very surprising. And then I Sleep Talk the Giga Drain, Sleep Talking Early Bird Shiftry for the win. And then I go into my Frillish to take the Ice Beam like a champion. But then he decides to be, what do you call those things? A transvestite donkey witch. South Park quote. Yeah, but whatever. Then I'm still frozen, and he comes into his Electros, and then Acid Sprays to sharply lower my special defense. And then I'm still frozen, and then he kills me, and that's pretty gay. And then I was just so mad about that freeze hack that I freaking forgot that he had levitate, and drill run doesn't affect him, and so I go into my Mawile just to toxic him, I think, yeah, just to toxic him, and apparently he doesn't know I'm steel because acid spray doesn't affect me. And then I go out into my Basculin to take the flamethrower like a boss, but he gets a crit. And I realized something. On PO, it seems like when you switch, they're like freaking twice as likely to get a crit. And I don't know, it just seems like when you switch, they get crits more often and whatnot. And I thought Waterfall would do more than 64%, but that's still a lot for just normal damage and not banded and whatnot. Then I go back into my Mawile, and I didn't want to protect her, because I didn't think the toxic... actually, I don't even know why I said that. It doesn't matter. I could have protected or Sucker Punched, and I did that. And here we both miss our status moves. And he's playing pretty openly, because I switched, and then he goes for the Hypnosis again. So, I'm guessing this guy's kind of new, especially because right here, I Sleep Talk the rest, and he goes for the Psychic. And I guess he didn't know Shiftry was part dark. I mean, I don't blame him if he's new, because he doesn't look like a dark type, but still. And then I wake up first turn, I think, and then I get the rest. And this is where the stally part begins. I go into my Mawile, and he goes for the Ice Beam. Yeah, that's the only move I think I see on his Articuno the whole game. And then he switches out into his Probopass, predicting the Toxic, which was pretty nice prediction, but also a pretty obvious prediction. And then I go out into my Shiftry to take anything he wants to throw at me. And he throws a Thunder Wave, but I'm asleep, so it doesn't affect me. And then he switches out into his Articuno, no, Hypno. And then I Sleep Talk the Dark Pulse, no, the Giga Drain. And then I wake up and go for the Dark Pulse. And it's super effective, and then he flinches again, which is really unfortunate for him, but it's pretty much evening it out. And now it's 3-on-3. Oh yeah, and this is a PU team, but it actually works pretty well in regular NU battles. And I figured out that most of my NU teams that I use already are mostly PU Pokemon, which is pretty funny. And then I predict the Ice Beam, because it was obvious. And then I predict the Probopass switch in and go for the Seismic Toss. And I go back out into my Shift Tree, which is getting kind of obvious. But he gets a special defense drop, which doesn't matter, like, at all. And I'm pretty sure I predicted the switch, maybe. Nope, I didn't. I should have predicted that. Come on, Andy. You gotta do better than this. Oh yeah, my name's Andy if you guys didn't know, so you can call me Andy. And then he brings in his Articuno, and I switch out in Mawile to take the Ice Beam, but I shouldn't have protected right here. Well, actually, it didn't really matter, because either way I was gonna die. But I thought I could get up to a range where I could live, but I didn't, and then I just go for the Sucker Punch just to get some damage off of it. And he still hasn't shown me any other move than Ice Beam, I believe. And then I go into my Electrode because it can basically clean things up from here. But then he goes into his Probopass, which takes the Thunderbolt pretty well. And then I go for the Volt Switch just to get some damage off on the switch. And I go into my Shift Tree, and the Paralyze that he gets here, or the Thunder Wave, didn't really matter because either way, Shift Tree was going to die to an Ice Beam because I didn't want to fodder out my Electrode. So I'm pretty sure I predicted him to come in, but if I didn't, like, it didn't matter what I went for there because either way I was going to die. But I live with 1% and get off with Dark Pulse, which didn't matter, like, at all. And I think I'm going to switch out the Life Orb on my Electrode for the Sea Incense, but the electric type. Like, I have the Sea Incense on my Basculin, but whatever. So I kill this Articuno with a Thunderbolt, and then his Probopass comes in, and I go for the Thunderbolt again, and I don't know why he went into him first. It could have been a 2 over him, yeah, spoiler. But then he goes into his last poke, his Golduck, which I'm like, please don't be Scarfed, please don't be Scarfed. But then he goes for the Aqua Jet, which is pretty funny in my opinion, because I've never seen a Golduck with Aqua Jet, and I thought that was a pretty epic win on his part. And yeah, that Electros kind of trolled me. It killed like a couple of my pokes. It was pretty annoying. But the most annoying thing in this match had to be the Articuno. So yeah, good game, creamy. And yeah, so leave a like if you liked it, and goodbye.